So many seniors spend their nights the same way. You lie down hoping for rest, but before long you are awake again. The clock shows midnight, then 2 in the morning, then 4. You sit up wondering if this is simply what aging feels like. But here is what most people never hear. Often it is not age at all. It is one small choice at the dinner table, and the very food you have been eating for decades may hold the answer you have been searching for. Today, I'm going to show you how the humble tomato can become a quiet partner in your fight against insomnia. Inside this simple fruit are natural compounds that help your body relax, balance your heart, and gently guide your mind into deeper sleep. No pills, no heavy side effects, just a gentle change that could help you finally rest through the night. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from? And what time is it right now? Leave a comment below. I can't wait to see your answers. And if you enjoy this video, hit that subscribe button. If not, just give it a like. It really helps this channel grow. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, you will see how this everyday fruit can protect not only your sleep, but also your energy, your memory, and your peace of mind. Why tomatoes matter for your sleep? As we grow older, many of us begin to notice that sleep is no longer as easy or as deep as it once was. You may fall asleep only to wake again at midnight, restless and unable to drift back. Doctors often prescribe pills, and friends may suggest herbal teas. But what if the answer was sitting quietly in your kitchen all along? The humble tomato, something you may have enjoyed for decades, carries natural compounds that directly support restful sleep, and science is finally beginning to explain why. Inside every ripe tomato is a small but powerful dose of melatonin, the same hormone your body produces to regulate its sleep cycle. Think of melatonin as your body's clock, gently telling your brain when it is time to wind down. For seniors whose natural production of melatonin has slowed with age, adding tomatoes to the evening meal can provide a safe, steady nudge back towards balance. It is not a quick fix like medication, but a natural whisper reminding your body how to rest. Tomatoes also contain lycopene, a strong antioxidant that reduces inflammation and protects the heart. Many older adults know the frustration of lying awake because of aching joints, a pounding pulse, or unexplained tension in the chest. Lycopene works quietly in the background, easing that hidden strain, supporting circulation, and allowing your body to relax more fully. When the heart rests, the mind follows, and sleep becomes deeper, steadier, and more healing. Beyond melatonin and lycopene, tomatoes bring vitamin C, potassium, and beta-carotene nutrients that strengthen the immune system, stabilize blood pressure, and keep the nervous system functioning smoothly. For someone who wakes often from fatigue, night sweats, or simple unease, these nutrients create a foundation of stability. They reduce the chance of sudden spikes in pressure, calm the nerves, and help the body maintain a peaceful rhythm through the night. For Americans, the comfort of tomato soup on a cold evening is almost nostalgic, bringing back memories of childhood kitchens and warm family dinners. For families in India, a bowl of rasam or a spoonful of tomato chutney is a daily ritual that soothes the stomach and lightens the spirit. In both cultures, this small fruit has always been more than food. It has been comfort, warmth, and connection. Now we understand it is also a gentle ally in protecting sleep. You may feel that age has taken control of your nights, leaving you powerless against the hours of tossing and turning. But That is not the full story. By simply weaving tomatoes into your evening routine, whether a light salad, a small bowl of soup, or a spoon of chutney, you can help your body remember what it once did with ease. Sleep is not beyond your reach. With choices as simple as this, you can still guide your health, calm your nights, and wake each morning with the quiet strength that life after 60 deserves. Tomatoes and sleep through modern science. In recent years, scientists from the United States, Europe, and Japan have begun studying the quiet relationship between tomatoes and sleep. Their findings may surprise you, especially if you are among the many older adults who struggle with restless nights. The research shows that compounds inside tomatoes, melatonin, lycopene, and powerful antioxidants work together to restore the body's natural ability to rest. These are not exotic chemicals or expensive supplements, but nutrients present in a fruit you may already eat almost every day. The science is straightforward, yet deeply encouraging. As we age, our bodies accumulate oxidative stress, a kind of hidden damage caused by free radicals in the blood. This stress irritates the heart, burdens the blood vessels, and keeps the brain on constant alert even during the hours meant for rest. Tomatoes help reduce this oxidative stress, allowing the heart to beat calmly, the blood to flow smoothly, and the brain to release its tension. When stress eases, both mind and body are free to slip into deeper, longer, and more healing sleep. Researchers in Japan followed seniors who drank fresh tomato juice in the evening for several weeks. They reported shorter times to fall asleep, longer periods of uninterrupted rest, and fewer awakenings during the night. European nutrition studies have echoed these results, linking diets rich in lycopene with stronger heart health and more stable sleep patterns. In the United States, dietitians now point to tomatoes as a simple, safe option for seniors who are hesitant about long-term sleeping pills. These studies become more meaningful when we connect them with real lives. Mrs. Green, a 75-year-old from Texas, had relied on prescription sleep medication for years. The pills left her groggy in the morning, unsteady on her feet, and fearful of falling. After learning about the benefits of cooked tomatoes, she began ending her dinners with a warm bowl of tomato soup. Within 2 weeks, she noticed that she was falling asleep more easily and waking up only once instead of 3 or 4 times. The simple comfort of soup replaced her need for medication, and she regained mornings filled with clarity instead of fog. Across the ocean in Kerala, Mr. Raman faced a different struggle. Each night he drank a cup of strong tea before bed, believing it would soothe him. Instead, he found himself waking every 2 hours, rushing to the bathroom and returning to bed exhausted. On his doctor's advice, he replaced the late night tea with a small glass of fresh tomato juice. To his amazement, the nighttime trips grew fewer and his sleep stretched longer. His days became lighter, his evenings calmer, and his faith in simple habits grew stronger. These stories remind us of something important. Age may bring changes we cannot control, but small choices still matter. Tomatoes are not a miracle cure, but they are a gentle ally that science now supports. If you find yourself lying awake, heart unsettled, or mind racing, consider this humble fruit as part of your evening routine. You may discover, as others already have, that restful sleep can return, not through force, but through the quiet gift of nature, working with your body one night at a time. Method 1. Eating fresh tomatoes. Before bed. 1. Of the simplest and most effective ways to use tomatoes for better sleep is to enjoy them fresh before bedtime. All it takes is one or two ripe red tomatoes washed carefully and sliced neatly onto a plate. You can eat them as they are or mix them into a light evening salad perhaps with a drizzle of olive oil for extra flavor. This small ritual does not demand much effort, but it can have a surprisingly powerful impact on your nights. Fresh tomatoes are special because they hold on to their natural melatonin vitamins and minerals in their purest form. When you eat them raw, nothing is lost through cooking or heating, and your body receives the full benefit. Melatonin, as you may know, is the hormone that signals your brain it is time to sleep. By giving your body a gentle dose in the evening, you help your system recognize the right moment to rest. The additional nutrients, vitamin C, potassium, and beta carotene also strengthen circulation, protect your nerves, and keep your immune system steady. Together, they build a foundation for a calmer night. It is best to eat your tomatoes about 1 hour before bed, giving your stomach time to settle before you lie down. Try not to eat them on an empty stomach since the natural acids in tomatoes may sometimes feel harsh without food. Pairing them with a few greens or a small piece of bread can make the experience more pleasant and more effective. This is not about forcing sleep, but about gently guiding your body toward balance. Consider the story of Mr. Harris, a 74-year-old from Florida. For years, he struggled with restless nights and morning headaches caused by high blood pressure. At the suggestion of his doctor, he began adding 2 slices of fresh tomato to a small salad with olive oil each evening. Within weeks, not only was he sleeping more soundly, but his blood pressure readings became more stable and he woke feeling clearer and lighter. A similar change happened to Mrs. Gupta in Delhi. She often woke 3 or 4 times during the night, feeling unsettled and unable to return to sleep. When she began including fresh tomato in her green salad at dinner, she noticed fewer awakenings and longer stretches of rest. She told her daughter, "I did not expect something so ordinary to feel so comforting." These stories remind us that sometimes the smallest adjustments bring the greatest relief. Fresh tomatoes are not a cure-all, but they are a gentle step anyone can take. If restless nights have left you tired, this may be your opportunity to regain peace. A simple fruit chosen with care and eaten with intention can help you remember what true rest feels like. Method 2. Tomato juice. Gentle and easy to absorb. Another simple and soothing way to use tomatoes for better sleep is to enjoy them as fresh juice in the evening. All you need is about 150 to 200 grams of ripe tomatoes prepared with a slow juicer, so the delicate nutrients are not lost. For extra comfort, you can add a small spoon of pure honey or a few fresh mint leaves, creating a drink that is both calming and refreshing. The liquid form makes this method especially powerful because your body absorbs melatonin, vitamin C, and lycopene much faster in juice than in solid food. This means the calming effects reach your system more quickly, helping you ease into rest without the heavy feeling that sometimes comes with a late meal. Japanese researchers studied older adults who drank tomato juice each evening for 3 weeks, and they reported falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up less often during the night. For many seniors, this small change has already made a difference. Mrs. Thompson, a 72-year-old from California, used to drink warm milk before bed, but she still tossed and turned for hours. When she replaced the milk with a small glass of fresh tomato juice, her nights became calmer and she no longer dreaded bedtime. Across the world in Mumbai, Mr. Iyer tried the same shift, drinking tomato juice after dinner. He noticed that the nagging leg aches that often woke him up in the middle of the night were much less frequent, and he felt stronger in the mornings. Tomato juice is not a miracle, but it is a gentle tool that fits easily into daily life. With consistency, it may help you find the peace you thought you had lost, reminding you that sleep can still be soft, steady, and deeply restorative. Method 3. Warm tomato soup. An evening ritual for rest. There is something timeless about ending the day with a bowl of warm soup, especially when the body feels tired and the mind unsettled. Tomatoes, when gently cooked with onion, garlic, and a drizzle of olive oil, release lycopene in a form that your body absorbs more effectively. This process not only enhances the nutritional value, but also turns the soup into a gentle remedy, calming the stomach, supporting the heart, and preparing the brain for deeper rest. Warm foods act as natural comfort, relaxing the nervous system and guiding the body towards sleep in a way cold drinks or heavy meals cannot. In the United States, many seniors remember childhood nights with tomato basil soup and grilled cheese, a memory tied to warmth, safety, and home. In India, the tradition of sipping hot rasam after dinner plays a similar role, soothing the spirit and leaving the body light and ready for rest. These cultural rituals remind us that food is not only fuel, it is also medicine for the heart and mind. Real lives bring this truth to light. In Boston, Mrs. Miller, age 76, replaced her nightly cup of tea with a small bowl of tomato soup. Within days, she noticed fewer awakenings, and soon she was sleeping 7 uninterrupted hours, something she thought was no longer possible. In Hyderabad, Mr. Reddy began adding a touch of ginger and black pepper to his evening tomato soup. The spice warmed his stomach, eased his late-night discomfort, and allowed him to sink into deeper, more peaceful sleep. These stories remind us that health is not always found in medicine bottles, but often in small choices repeated with care. A bowl of warm tomato soup is simple, safe, and nourishing, yet it carries the power to change the rhythm of your nights. If you feel your evenings slipping into worry and broken rest, consider turning this humble dish into your nightly ritual. It may not solve every problem, but it can give you back the comfort of steady sleep, one gentle spoonful at a time. Safety notes. When using tomatoes for sleep, tomatoes can be a gentle and supportive part of your evening routine, but like all good things, they work best when used wisely. For older adults, moderation is the key to making sure this humble fruit becomes a true ally for health rather than a source of discomfort. Doctors generally recommend limiting intake to 1 or 2 medium-sized tomatoes each day, which is enough to provide melatonin, lycopene, and essential vitamins without straining the digestive system. Eating too many, especially late in the evening, may cause heartburn, indigestion, or unnecessary acid buildup. It is also important to choose ripe red tomatoes and avoid green or unripe ones, which can contain higher levels of natural alkaloids. These compounds, though harmless in small amounts, may upset the stomach or cause fatigue when consumed in excess. Seniors with sensitive digestion are especially at risk, and for them, eating tomatoes at the wrong time may create more problems than it solves. Think of it this way: your body is asking for balance, not extremes. Another gentle rule is to avoid eating tomatoes on an empty stomach, since their natural acids can increase stomach irritation or trigger reflux. Pairing them with a light meal or enjoying them an hour after dinner helps soften their impact and makes the nutrients easier to absorb. If you know that your stomach is easily irritated, you might also consider removing the seeds. While small, they can be difficult to digest for some people, and taking a minute to scoop them out may save you a night of discomfort. Food safety is another step often overlooked. Tomatoes should always be washed thoroughly under cool running water to remove dust bacteria or any traces of pesticides. For seniors who may already be managing chronic conditions, choosing clean produce from a reliable source is not simply a preference, it is a necessity. Just as you would not compromise on the quality of your medication, the same care should be taken with the food you place on your plate each night. These precautions may sound simple, but they connect to something larger. Good health in later years rarely depends on one big decision, but on many small choices made with care and consistency. Tomatoes can support your sleep, heart, and immune system, but only when eaten with respect for your body's limits. Imagine Mr. Lewis, a 70-year-old in Chicago who loved tomatoes so much, he added them to nearly every meal. He often ate them raw, straight from the fridge, even late at night. Soon, he developed acid reflux that kept him awake, and he feared that tomatoes were the problem. After guidance from his doctor, he reduced his intake to one tomato in the evening, removed the seeds, and paired it with a small salad. The reflux faded, and his sleep improved again. Stories like his remind us that food is powerful, but it must be approached with balance. By respecting portion sizes, choosing ripe produce, and preparing it thoughtfully, you can allow tomatoes to give you their best without harm. At this stage of life, gentle discipline is not a burden but a gift. With mindful choices, your nights can remain peaceful and your health can stay firmly in your hands. Tomatoes and overall health. After 60. When we think about tomatoes, most of us imagine them as a simple part of dinner, a slice in a sandwich or a bowl of soup on a cool night. Yet, for seniors, especially after the age of 60, tomatoes can be far more than flavor on the plate. They are packed with nutrients that quietly protect the heart, strengthen the immune system, and even support healthier skin and vision. These benefits may not be obvious at first, but they build gently over time, helping older adults feel stronger, lighter, and more confident in daily life. One of the greatest gifts tomatoes bring is protection for the heart. Lycopene, the red pigment that gives tomatoes their color, is a powerful antioxidant, proven to reduce the risk of heart disease. After 60, when the arteries naturally become less flexible and blood pressure tends to rise, this protection becomes especially important. Think of lycopene as a shield calming inflammation in the blood vessels and allowing circulation to flow more smoothly. Seniors who include tomatoes regularly often report lower blood pressure readings, steadier energy, and fewer days lost to fatigue. Another visible benefit is healthier skin. Many older adults quietly worry about skin that feels thin, dry, or fragile, but rarely talk about it aloud. The vitamin C and beta-carotene in tomatoes stimulate collagen, helping skin maintain elasticity and softness. Over time, this can reduce the appearance of age spots, improve healing, and bring back a natural glow. For someone who feels their reflection no longer matches their spirit, this small improvement can bring a quiet confidence. Vision is another concern that weighs heavily with age. Reading the newspaper, recognizing faces, or safely crossing the street all depend on sharp eyesight. Yet vision often fades silently in the 60s and 70s. Tomatoes contain both vitamin A precursors and antioxidants that protect the retina, reducing the risk of conditions like macular degeneration. In practice, this means that the same tomato soup you enjoy for comfort may also be protecting your independence, allowing you to keep reading, walking, and recognizing the faces you love. Immunity too becomes fragile with time. Many seniors find themselves catching colds more often, recovering slowly, or feeling vulnerable during flu season. Tomatoes rich in vitamin C and other micronutrients help strengthen the immune system, making it easier to fight off infections. This is not about never falling sick, but about giving your body the quiet strength to recover quickly and continue living fully. Culture plays a meaningful role in how tomatoes are enjoyed. In the United States, seniors often prefer fresh salads, a glass of tomato juice, or a warm soup paired with bread. These meals are light, practical, and familiar, fitting easily into daily routines. In India, tomatoes find their place in chutneys, curries, and rasam, where their tangy flavor blends with spices to comfort the stomach and calm the spirit. Though the dishes differ, the result is the same, a simple fruit that supports health, connection, and peace of mind. These traditions remind us that food is more than nourishment, it is culture, memory, and medicine combined. Whether in a New York kitchen or a Delhi courtyard, the tomato can serve as a natural tool to restore sleep, protect the heart, and strengthen resilience. For seniors who sometimes feel that health is slipping out of their control, this message is deeply hopeful. You do not need complicated regimens or costly supplements. By embracing small habits rooted in familiar foods, you can guide your body towards balance. A tomato on your plate is not just food, it is a choice for strength, rest, and vitality, even in the later chapters of life. As we reach our later years, it is easy to believe that deep, refreshing sleep can only come from pills or prescriptions. Yet, science and tradition remind us that sleep often depends less on medication and more on the quiet choices we make each evening. Something as ordinary as a ripe red tomato, prepared thoughtfully and enjoyed at the right time, can guide the body back into a natural rhythm of rest. Throughout this journey, we have explored three simple methods that older adults can try without fear or complexity. Eating tomatoes fresh preserves their natural melatonin, vitamins, and minerals, gently signaling your body to relax. Drinking fresh tomato juice allows the nutrients to be absorbed more quickly, offering a light and calming alternative to heavier evening habits. And ending the night with warm tomato soup brings both comfort and science together, releasing lycopene and soothing the nervous system as you prepare for bed. These are not drastic changes, and they do not require expensive ingredients or complicated recipes. Instead, they are small, steady habits you can practice for 3 to 5 nights in a row to notice a difference. Many seniors have discovered that simply adjusting when and how they include tomatoes in their evening meals allows them to sleep longer, wake less often, and rise with greater clarity and energy. If you sometimes feel powerless against restless nights, take comfort in knowing that control still rests in your hands. A tomato is more than food, it is a gentle ally, offering both nourishment and peace. Whether you live in New York, where a fresh salad fits perfectly into supper, or in New Delhi, where rasam warms the spirit, before sleep, the same fruit carries the same promise. So, begin tonight. Try one of these methods Listen to your body and allow nature to do its work. You may discover that a single tomato, humble and familiar, becomes your most loyal friend in reclaiming the sleep you thought was lost. And with better sleep comes not only rest, but renewed strength, brighter mornings, and the quiet joy of knowing you are still in charge of your health.